some measuring today, and we'll get that all going as well. Duke, what's going on? Wanna go after some coyotes? Yeah, let's go. Come. We still gotta do the stick tank. I gotta dig for it probably today. But I'm planning to put the greenhouse up on the top here. So we'll see how that goes today. It's not flat, it's like downhill. So I gotta flatten the section a bit. Hey, where are you going? Yeah, leave the deers alone. Greenhouse, you are going to grow your own crops. Yeah, mostly, the only thing I'm gonna be growing is mostly berries. I got like almost 40 plants of strawberries, and I got some about 62 plants of cucumbers that I started to grow in when I was in the city 3 weeks ago. So that's gonna be up on the top there. Um, that's the only thing that I actually eat. Sometimes I do eat, if I can get a chance to grow some arugula here, would be good just for the nitrate. It's good for your heart, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I don't buy vegetables or nothing like that. I haven't had any for like almost 10 years now or so. But yeah, this is all behind me. There is just a crown land. There's a small, there's a creek that runs down as well on the bottom. Hey Ritik, how are you? I know I came on early today. We've been up early, me and Duke. It's a lot of work today, so we're gonna be moving a lot of these lumber. All these are 6x6 and 6x8s. They're pretty heavy. Duke, why aren't vegetables any good? Also, which fruits are good? I don't eat vegetables at all just due to the oxalates. I used to be a big fan of them, but I stopped almost 10 years ago. Just due to the high oxalates and the anti-nutrients. So I eat mostly carnivore and some berries. Some of the fruits that I would actually recommend would be berries, strawberries, what else? Blueberries, huckleberries, all that stuff. That's what I'm gonna try to grow here. But other than that, for vegetables, only thing that is good for vegetables and it's like light, well, it's kind of considered as a fruit. Anything that has seeds in it is actually considered as a fruit, right? So anything such as, zucchini is good. So minor things, not many things you can actually have, just so you're not causing any issues. Sometimes I do have garlic and onions, mostly for medicinal purposes, just because they are high in sulfur, which is good. I do drink coffee every single day. I just had my cup this morning at 5 a.m. After taurine, I feel buzzed. Feel buzzed? In what way? Like, do you feel good, like full of energy, or how has it been, Ritik? How much did you take? Is coffee good for health overall? Well, there's a lot of people they talk so bad about coffee, but if you think about it, the coffee is actually is a berry. It's whether it's the way it's been made, the way it's been dried up and everything, right? That's what actually causes issue, because sometimes it could cause like a mold toxins because it didn't really dry it up well. But I drink coffee. I think it's an excellent berry choice. The only thing is, if you overdo it, you can flush out some of your magnesium. So make sure you fulfill with proper magnesium. You should be fine. Light-headed a little. I take 2 grams. So I think probably because you're feeling lightheaded, Ritik, because it's saturating your body with it. Keep in mind, taurine is heavily found in your eyes, in your brain, and in your heart. So probably that's why you might be feeling that way. Guys, sorry, hey Allah, I might not stay very long here, like probably like maybe 45 minutes, an hour. Just I forgot to charge my phone last night because I don't have power yet. So I'm running off a battery. So if it does die, I'll plug in the phone and maybe come back later on. Duke, don't play with that, please. Some people get heart palpitations with coffee. Why is that? Because it depletes your magnesium. And if they actually have a sensitivity to coffee, all they have to do is add L-theanine to prevent that jittery effect. But the palpitation is because of lack of magnesium in the body. Duke, get the ball. I'll play with you. Come on. What about hookah? Once a week is normal? Yeah, it should be fine. Like a lot of that stuff, as long as 100% natural and no added like chemicals to it, you should be fine. Is this your new house? This is my little tiny house that I started building last year. Duke, come here. This is that I started building last year. It took me about 2.5 months to do the whole thing. You know, did the flooring, did everything. So I'm gonna start doing the insulation probably in next week. There's my wood stove. I got a much bigger one than this. This one is too small. So I got some spray foam and I have my little trailer. It's a 20-foot trailer attached to it. So that's where I've been staying right now till I get the installation done. And once the installation is done and I install my wood stove, I'm gonna actually remove the door here and remove the window, so everything will be fully attached. And this little place is not that big. It's only like about 18 feet in length and about 12 feet in width, in diameter. And outside I just put in, I'm gonna be putting the deck. This is gonna be about 10 by 18 feet. Then I'm gonna put another deck here, 20 by 20 feet. Because we spend most of our time outside, right? So, Duke, keep that here. I'll put you some food. Oh, he's hungry. He's going to fill it up. D-ribose, it is a powers up your mitochondria, especially if you mix it with creatine. Especially if you have fibromyalgia, you have any type of pain, that is gonna boost your mitochondria level, which is amazing. I take it, especially for people that are actually trying to increase the fraction for their aorta or their heart. You can actually do D-ribose with acetyl L-carnitine and ubiquinol or coenzyme Q10. All that stuff works really good. But D-ribose is like, almost think of it as an activation for your mitochondria, an activation for your heart, and that's what you want to think of. Leave that alone. I'll make you some eggs. Come in a bit. You're not hungry. You solved a lot of my problems. I have respect for you, Maurice. Thanks so much, Ritik. I really appreciate that comment. Thank you. Okay, you want your morning love, Duke? We haven't brushed. Look at this. Okay. Okay, there we go. There you go. There you go. I've ordered the Enzymatica enzymes from iHerb. It's taken sometimes to the liver. Can heat damage it? It's very, very stable because it does not have any live bacteria. So the heat shouldn't really matter, especially if you're worried about being shipped. It should be fine. It should be fine. And I can tell you how you can test it out as well too. When you get it, but it shouldn't be an issue because there's no live bacteria. Duke, we gotta get a brush today. Duke's starting to actually shed like crazy. He slept beside me the whole night because it got really cold that night. We don't have heat yet in the trailer and there's no power, so we end up freezing up. 3 o'clock in the morning, the freaking moisture goes up so high, it's crazy. Hey, everybody's still sleeping. There's no noise. But we're gonna wait. Hopefully my phone will last another hour. I wanna show you guys when we get I don't know if we're gonna have any sun today. It's gonna be, it looks like very cloudy. Hey, leave it. And we already got some chemtrail this morning. A lot of weather modification happening, which is kind of, it's terrible. That's why the weather stays nice and cool. Like we still have heavy snow in the month of May. It's insane. Here, come, Duke. I'll get you a bone in a bit. They're just all done in the bottom in the freezer. I only have power all the way in the bottom where the other trailer is. That's my old trailer. And I keep everything there right now because that's the only place I have power. So there's roughly about, I need 450 feet of wire to get up to here. Can I take activated charcoal for heavy metal detox? Yes, you could. Activated charcoal is good, and you can actually use zeolite. Zeolite actually, it captures a lot of the inorganic material and a lot of the metal as well too, which is excellent. Wait, Duke, we'll finish the deck next week. We'll start the deck next week. Sir, are chemical trail or just rocket engine exhaust? No, it is a chemical trail. They actually see them often. Lots in the city I was living in. Every second day you'll see at least couple. That's how they actually control the weather. That's how it is. And that's where we get sprayed with a lot of aluminum and heavy metal toxins, and that's why we end up getting a lot of our crops that we buy commercially sometimes or even organic. They tend to have very high levels of aluminum and a lot of heavy metals in them. So all these chemtrails are just weather modification. They're not normal rocket engine exhaust or nothing like that. Zeolite is expensive for me here. I was thinking about activated charcoal. Um, you can actually the company that I've gotten some from Ritik was actually from UK, and they have it on Amazon. It's actually one of the cheapest because you can buy like almost like a 1 pound for about $30, way cheaper than activated charcoal. Where are you at, Ritik? There we go. Let's go down. I gotta get some stairs going here for the deck so we can be able to go down, back and forth. Um, so we're thinking of putting the greenhouse in the back. We'll see how that goes today. Oh, you are in India, okay. And I wonder if they can ship from UK to India or is it very expensive? But if it is very expensive, then yeah, you can still use charcoal. Just make sure you're at least 4 hours apart from any other supplements, and make sure you drink good water because sometimes it could cause constipation because it captures everything in your intestine and it can cause slight constipation. So having good amount of water would be ideal. Is bergamot good? Bergamot is good to actually control your cholesterol. The problem is it does take a long time. So you do have to build it up into your system. So it can take anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks before it actually gets built up into your system. So it doesn't just happen right away like niacin, for example. If you want to control your cholesterol with niacin, niacin will be, instant. The moment you take it, you're gonna feel the flush, and by the third day, you're gonna start to actually lower your cholesterol. Bergamot, on the other hand, can take about 6 to 8 weeks. On the long term, bergamot is good, but in the meantime, you can always take niacin if you're kind of worried about the cholesterol. Hey, Miss Cosmo, how are you? Good morning. It's actually 6:20 in the morning, quite early today on a Sunday. Duke, Duke is behind me playing. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's always beside me. Never leaves my sight. Is niacin safe to take? Yeah, it is safe. I've been taking niacin for now coming up to about 9.5, 10 years, give or take, of niacin. I take it every day. I missed 2 days because I was driving coming up here, but I took some last night. I'm gonna take some right now as well too. Zeolite, Duke, where are you? Oh, there you are. Come here, bud. Let's go throw the ball. That's early. How is the fresh air? It's nice. It's beautiful. You can nicely breathe. There's no fumes. There's nothing. It's very natural here, which is amazing. It's just very, very high moisture level. So we've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. We're freezing at night. So Duke came and slept beside me the whole time, so he can stay warm. Here, here. You wanna play? Hey, give me the ball. Give me the ball. So hopefully we can get some nicer weather, because usually May and June it is a rainy season a little bit here. Um, but hopefully we can get some heating going, and we can warm up as long as we don't have too much moisture. Looks beautiful. Where is this? I'm in British Columbia in BC. So I just got my health rofinol zeolite. Does it irritate stomach as I have sensitive? It's not whether it irritates stomach or not, John. You have to start very, very slow with the amount. Like 1/4 teaspoon with a good amount of water for the first week, and kind of work your way up to the preferred grams per body weight. Got a converter, so warm. A converter, I'll check that out. I have a gas heater. I've installed it. I just have to get it running right now and hook up the propane. It just sucks up propane like crazy. Paint with Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. Yes, it's very refreshing. I'll wait for you up here so you can come up for a visit, Jim. I'll be living off grid for you'll be living. Yeah, yes, that's the whole idea. I'll be living here off grid for good. Just as soon as I get my water, my septic, and have everything nice and cozy here, I'll be going back and forth to the city to pick up stuff. But once we get a cow going, because we're planning to buy two, me and my neighbor, and I'm gonna be here probably full time. What diet do you follow? I've been mostly carnivore for the past 10 years. But recently, for the past couple years, I started to add some berries. It's almost been about 4 years or so, been adding some berries. But yeah, like for the past 2 days, I've been eating mostly raw meat. I did about 4.5 years of raw meat as well. But right now, I still eat raw, probably about 80%, I would say 90% of my diet. Do you have a well? We have a creek running, and the creek runs all year long, but in the month of September, well, August, September, the water level gets very, very, very low. So I have to be cautious of how much water I use. Then when we start to get the heavy snow, October, November, then it uh, it regenerates again. It actually we get full water. I don't know how it is. I hear that some neighbors, like we have neighbors across the areas, some of them they say like it dries up where they have to purchase their own water. But if that happens, then I'm gonna have to dig for a well. And digging for a well here is very, very expensive, and the licensing is very, very expensive. So I'm gonna see if there's any other option. So I hope it doesn't dry up. I hope it stays. That's why I got 3,000 liters of gallons. 3,000, yeah. I got 3 gallons, big gallons actually. They're like about 1,000 liter each. So if I can have them filled up with fresh water, so I can utilize for like washing and stuff, would be great. Do learn to hunt. I do have my license for hunting. I do have 2 rifles. I haven't hunted for almost 11 years, but I do fishing lots. I was fishing for almost 22 years, but I haven't fished for the past 2 years since I got Duke, because he's been taking a lot of my time. So this year, I've always done, by the way, kayak fishing. So I go on a kayak in a lot of the rivers, a lot of the lakes, and that's how I actually catch a lot of the trouts, steelheads, and stuff. So I'm planning to actually do it this year. I definitely want to enjoy it. And that's why I kind of built that barrier all around me here. So if Duke stays here by himself, because it gets really, really hot, and for him to actually be with me in the kayak, it'll be very, very tough. It'll be very hot for him. So I'll probably go like 2 hours and come back. Not bad. Poland, thanks so much for the flowers. How you been? I hope you're doing good. What about glucose for energy before working out? You don't need the glucose for working out. I actually have, if you want anything for energy, take MCT oil. That's what I usually use. I would use me myself. That's what I do. I take 1 tablespoon of MCT oil, and I actually blend it with a shot of espresso, and that's like my energy intake. If I need it before training, that's what I do. So you're the nearest person to Bear Grylls I've ever met. It's pretty amazing here. I love it. There's my little equipment machine. I put it on it yesterday. This is where I do my pull-ups. I haven't done pull-ups for almost 2 years, a year and a half, just because I did injure my bicep. So we're gonna try it out this year to see if I can actually do any pull-ups. Hopefully the BPC 157 that I did for 2 cycles, hopefully it kind of helped my arm not to have any more pain. So we'll see how that goes. What are triglycerides or LDL, cholesterol? Which should we be worried? The LDL, pretty much, we never really look at it. Now the LDL number, it does go up quite high, especially if you're in, let's say, saturated fats and other things. But the question is it being oxidized? So the way you can tell if it's being oxidized, first of all, is your triglyceride to HDL ratio has to be ideal. And there is other factors. So your cholesterol is not all about heart disease. There's other factors. Factors could be like inflammation factors we have to check. Any wild animals there? Oh yeah, there's bears, there's coyotes, there's, they call them here like white lions, but what else there is? There's turkeys. I'm waiting until we get maybe some turkeys on the land, maybe we can catch some. There's a lot of different animals. Homocysteine from 12.2 to 9.7 in 2 weeks. Awesome, great job. Keep at it. Once we get it below 9, you're laughing, because that's what we need. This is one of the good inflammation to actually keep down. So between 7 and 9 would be ideal. Ooh, it's getting a little bit... No, there's no lions here. White lions, they go in a different name. I can't remember here in Canada what they call them. There's another name for them. It's almost like cougars. So we have cougars here as well too. But very rare. Only in the past, one of my neighbor here in the past 15 years, we've only seen one in this area. But we get grizzlies, we got black bears, we got deers. We had a couple deers this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. If I ever see like a bear or a coyote, since I have my internet here, we'll definitely do a live right away. I know when I actually start growing a lot of the berries here, they actually come for it. So all behind me here where the crown is, if you walk up about 200 meters up, there's a batch of blueberries. So I'm thinking of putting a camera there. This way we can kind of capture some of the bears actually come and graze on the blueberries. Are you using Starlink, Maurice? No, I'm not. I applied for it last year, and what happened is they said we can't get it up in our area, and it was getting very expensive because there was a lot of demand, so they put me on a waiting list. Then I canceled it. Oh, it is getting very cloudy actually, which is too bad. So the only way I can get an internet, see that mountain behind me there? There's a local company about 2.5 hours away from here. They installed a tower right up on the top here. So they have a tower there. And sometimes they fly by helicopter to actually unfreeze it in the winter time. And so it is in direct sight for me. So that's why I have perfect connection, and that's why like my videos and my internet is really good. If I'm gonna use any of the big companies, closest tower is about 11 kilometers. So technically I won't be able to have live or anything like that. So it's a perfect direction for me. What is your duration of workout on a daily basis? 45 minutes max. You don't need much. You don't need much at all. It's all about making sure you don't need too many sets and too many reps. It's all about doing, one set sometimes till failure, and you move on. Especially like right now, since I'm retraining again, I'll just stick with compound training more than anything. Oh, that's perfect. Your connection looks perfect on my end. Yeah, it's the connection is really good. It's not the fastest. I only get like 15 megs download, and I think about 30 meg or 10 megs upload, I think. So it's not a whole lot, but it's still ideal because I'm the only person kind of using the internet. So it's actually very reasonable. Do a pull-up now. Here, let's go see if I can do a pull-up. Early morning, It's freaking 6:30. You want me to work out? What the hell? I just have to because I have a small little gate, so I don't want Duke to go into the crown land. Then it wouldn't be good. I'll do one little pull up. I'll see how many I can do. Haven't done any for 2 years now. Damn. As long as I don't hurt my arm, no stretching, nothing. Sure. What the hell? I'll do one little pull up. Duke, stay here for a sec, please. No, you can't come out there. I know there's deers there. No, not come out. Wait, guys. No, no. Look, stay. Back up, please. Back up. Back up. Thank you. Good boy. Stay. Let me lock that. I have a little door here. So he doesn't come out. Because if he does, then it's a big issue. So let's see. Let's see here. So I got somebody from YouTube wants me to do a freaking pull-up. So let me just set the camera here and I'm gonna attempt to do a pull-up here. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna switch the camera. If I hurt myself, owe me big time. Who's that? That was the one and only Nicole. So let's see if we can do a pull-up. How's that, Duke? Okay, I hope that was good. I think we did like 6. I know it's been a long time, 2 years, but 6 is not bad. So I think my arm is getting pretty strong again. So maybe that BPC 157 did work to strengthen my torn freaking bicep. Duke, wait, let me lock the gate again here, just so we don't allow Duke to go out. So there's my morning workout. Who put the fences up? I did. I put them last year. Took me about 6 hours. Each one is about 85 pounds or so. Took me about a couple hours to put them up. I had to actually, every 5 fences I brought up here and I put them up all around the whole section. Can't do any pull up with a tennis elbow. Tennis elbow, I was having a lot of tennis elbow and stuff, but I've been healing it with a specific resistant band exercise and it works really nice. What is BPC 157? It's actually a peptide that actually helps with gut and helps with injuries. So I did BPC 157. It's a normal peptide form with TB 500, and I did it for a cycle of 6 to 8 weeks. Stopped for 2 weeks and did again for a couple weeks. It is very expensive, but because I torn my bicep, I couldn't lift my body weight. I couldn't lift any more weights or nothing, and I didn't do an operation. I lost about 25% from the tear in my bicep. So maybe it is working now because I can lift myself, which is nice. Before I couldn't. I would actually have extreme pain. Dude, where's the ball? Where did you buy that pull-up 3 bar? So that pull-up bar was actually invented by a company, I believe that was in Lithuania, almost about 8 years ago. And they wanted somebody to become a distributor in Canada. So I wanted to actually get into it. So they sent me that unit. I bought it. And what happened is, when we got it here into Canada, somebody else copied the idea and they start to produce it from China. So they brought it into Canada and other places. And I don't know how well they did. So the other one from Lithuania is very, very expensive. This thing is like $400. And I don't know if they end up continue with it or not, but it is very popular in Europe. Not many people know about it here in Canada, even though we have a lot of trees. Would be an amazing equipment to have if you have a place for outside, or you have a tree that are at least 9 inches in diameter. Why do you not train anymore like you used to? On old videos you look bigger. Why does your accident affect exercise? I torn my bicep. So when you torn your bicep, I lost 25%, what do you call it, your ligaments and stuff. So I couldn't do much lifting. And that's why I stopped working out, because I couldn't do much. And when I went to do a surgery, so they cut the rest of the ligaments and they actually drill a hole in the bone and they put a pin, and that's how they stretch the ligaments and put them into the pin. And with that surgery, if I do it, there's 1% chance for it of working. But what happened is you lose all the senses in your fingers. So I never really did the surgery, and I was trying to actually let it heal with certain, peptides, certain nutrients, certain exercises, so this way I can get it strong again. And as of last year, when I was doing a lot of resistant bands and stuff, it got a lot stronger, especially what I'm doing with the peptides. So now I'm back to exercising. So hopefully this year I can start to work out again a lot more. I know last summer, I spent most of my time building a tiny house, as you can see behind me. So I wasn't really working out a whole lot. Hey Larry, how are you? Hey Patricia, good morning. You have a nice skin. What do you use? I don't use anything. Maurice, what are best supplements for cardiovascular fitness, boxing that aren't illegal? Legal supplement that make biggest difference in performance. Biggest difference in performance. It's not whether it's a supplementation, but it is your diet. Your diet plays a huge role, because you can actually eat to fear a disease, or you can eat so you can feel 100% optimized. It's all about proper breathing, proper grounding, and the food that you eat. You don't want anything to be fermented in your gut where it's causing gases, where it's causing issues, or anything like that. Supplementation, the only supplementation that I like for good performance, and let's say good cardiovascular, you have creatine, you have D-ribose. I think it's gonna rain today. You have creatine, you have D-ribose, you have leucine. Now, if you are over the age of, let's say, 45, some people like to add HMB, so it prevents muscle loss. But these would be like your top supplements, and at the same time, because they boost up your mitochondria, they're gonna actually help your heart and help your cardiovascular. Now, what other things work? For the heart, you need to add magnesium, because your body needs to be saturated correctly with magnesium and proper electrolytes. So these would be like the top, not being illegal, as being as legal as possible and as clean as possible. These would be like your top. Now there is other performance supplements you can take, such as peptides. Now peptides are very expensive, but if you're able to afford them, why not go for it? Actually, it speeds up the process. And if you want to use something for peptide, I would highly recommend using follistatin. Follistatin works really good for the cardiovascular, works really good for the muscle tissue, but you have to use it correctly. If you don't, it can cause a blood pressure issue. So that goes back to you again, Ben. It depends what you want to use and how much you want to spend. It's not that tiny. Which, the tiny house? It is tiny. It's actually 18 feet, 18 feet by 12 feet. It's just, why it looks so big? Because I made I did this a huge mistake. I made the roof so high that it actually starts from 10 feet, it goes up to 13 feet. I was actually had it as high as 16 feet in case I wanted to do a loft, but I couldn't lift the beams up, and I couldn't get nobody to help me. So I actually cut it down to 13 feet. That's why it looks pretty big. What type of magnesium for heart? Magnesium ionic chloride. I have the link in my profile bio. Have you thought about creating a channel and content for your homesteading off-grid living? I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna start, especially on YouTube. I think that would be ideal. I don't know if I can do one on TikTok. It depends whether they're gonna stick around or they're gonna get banned or not. But definitely. But I don't know if I want to do like so many separate channels. I rather kind of have it all combined, and then I think this way I'll attract both crowds, right? Crowd that actually love to listen to off grid and kind of interact, and crowd that would actually want to heal their body. And most of the time, everybody wants to kind of heal their body and feel great. You can do mezzanine layer maybe for sleep. Yeah, oh, 100%, 100% would be awesome. There are so many things I'd like to do, but right now I wanted to kind of get all the main things done. And once I get all the main things like installation, water, and septic, then I know, okay, I can stay for the winter. Now I don't have a road, like I know I can take my truck up here, but in the winter time I can't. I have to park my truck all the way in the bottom. It's about 800 feet from the bottom, 900 feet, and I have to come up here walking in the snow. But for emergency purposes and stuff like that, I'll have to actually create a road. So I need to kind of get somebody with an excavator and maybe like just like a dirt road, just so I can be able to go up with the truck in the winter time. And that's what I'm struggling with right now. Like even right now, I don't know, you guys saw when I bought the wood stove a couple months ago, 2 months ago, I have the wood stove all the way in the bottom in the small trailer. I couldn't bring it up here, it was way too heavy. And I was sliding because it's wet still. So I have to wait when it's dry up. I'll get a couple of my neighbors. Hopefully they can help me lift it and put it inside the tiny house. So anything heavy I'm trying to actually bring up here is very, very tough. Very tough. To give you an example, when I did the leggings for the tiny house, I had to lift all the way from the bottom where the trailer is all the way up here, 98 cement bags. And each one is about, 50 pounds or 50 kilograms. I had to do 98. Took me about 4 days, 5 days to do the whole thing, just to kind of take them from the bottom up, walk one by one. Then after that, I spent another 1 week to actually mix them and actually put them in the holes and stuff. So it did take me a long time. And I was exhausted at the end of the day, especially with my arm not being so great. It wasn't that easy. Ski-Doo would be nice, 100%. I just gotta afford one. I just checked Amazon for the pull bar, 840. Oh wow, that's crazy. See what I mean? That's insane. That's very expensive. I'll bet you can find the knockoff version that was made in China for, I think, like 200 or something, probably on eBay. How long did it take to build? So this whole place, I just did it last summer. It took me 2.5 months to do it last summer. I had all the wood and everything. As you can see, I had all the lumbers and everything here, and I just was cutting and putting everything together. The footings, I did it prior because it took me almost just 2 weeks just to do the footings, and we didn't have good weather 2 years ago. It was like really bad rain and quite wet. Ah, shoot, my phone is gonna die. Oh man, my phone on TikTok is gonna die. Guys, if you get a chance to move over to YouTube, I'm gonna see if I can plug it in. I know I was only gonna stay for a bit. Let's see if I can plug it in before we die. Look, I'm gonna go inside for a minute because I can't see anything. The screen is like black. Let's see. Because I was charging the battery, didn't get a chance. Come in, Duke. Come. So I got a, hold on a second, guys. Okay, there we go. We got it plugged in. I know I can't stay long because I got an electrician coming to see if we can have like a big wire, so this way I can keep the battery charged. Did you have to get a building permit? We'll talk about that. Was the ground here, or did you do that? No, the ground was not level. The ground, it was a hill all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom was a big hill. So for the past 5 years, Every time I come up here in the summertime, I would stay in the trailer all the way in the bottom, and I had to get a faller to come and cut some trees and kind of put them on the side. And that's why it took a very, very long time. So every summer I would come for like 2 months, clean up some trees, head back to the city. So I was doing that for almost like 4 years prior. Then when I got to the destination I want, then we had to get somebody with an excavator to actually come and flatten this section. It was a lot of work. So it was like almost like a forest here, all the way from the top here, all the way to the bottom. So there was nothing. It was just full of trees. A lot of rotten trees. A lot of the birch, they end up molding. And right now, like even right now in the summertime when it rains heavy and it dries up super fast, you'll actually hear a couple trees they drop. So I had to cut a couple of trees down just so that I end up kind of dropping and hitting my spot here. Um, so yeah, we'll talk about that, Jimmy. What about magnesium hydroxide 300 milligrams? Yeah, if you can get hydroxide, is excellent. It works really, really well. Unfortunately, I don't have access to that, so I'm not able to get it here, but definitely you could do that. And it works really, really good. Now, guys, what I'm gonna do is my phone is only at 4%, and I got like 8% on my other phone on the YouTube one. So I'm gonna charge up my phones for at least a good hour. I think they're gonna take off this battery that I have, and what I'll do is I'll come back and we can have a chat. I know it's Sunday, it's not much going on yet. Hopefully it doesn't rain because I wanted to actually get the tiny house going. Apple cider vinegar is not bad. You just make sure you get proper one with the modern stuff that is organic. There's a big debate on it whether the bacteria it has or it produces, whether it's good for the gut or not. I've been using it myself as a test, and it does increase your acidity in the gut, so which is kind of acts like the hydrochloric acid. So it's not bad to actually have, especially if you do consume a lot of protein intake as well too. Guys, I'm gonna get going. I know this was a short 45-minute video, but what I'll do is once I charge the phones, I'll definitely come back and we can have another chat. I know it's quite early. It's only about 7 a.m. here. So we have a lot of time to do things. I hope it just doesn't rain. And if it doesn't rain, I'll maybe set up the camera. Maybe we can do the greenhouse. I'll get all the materials up there. In the meantime, we'll chat later, guys. Have a nice day ahead of you.